In the far-flung future, a ship hovering within the Zeta Reticuli system near Moon LV-426 extracts a large piece of jet-black rock floating around the remnants of the interstellar cruiser Nostromo. At first glance, it appears that the Weyland-Yutani Corporation has hired this spacecraft, known as the Renaissance Station, to look into whatever remains of the Nostromo. But in reality, something much more classified and much more sinister is afoot.
No emissions, no aerosol contaminants. It's secreted resin but effectively inert. It contains hydrogen, carbon, nitrogen, and oxygen.
The four basic elements of life.
One of the researchers aboard the Renaissance Station asks the project head, Matos, if they should unearth whatever is inside the black chunk they extracted from the Nostromo's wreckage. He then defers to Rook, the mission's science officer and a synthetic humanoid, who promptly excavates the material. Some distance away, a couple of Weyland-Yutani security officers named Hyla and Adrian watch as Rook and his colleagues open up the large chunk of interstellar stone they found.
That rock oozes rotten energy, and it's coming from whatever's inside. They've been looking for that ship, that thing, for a long time, Adrian.
We then discover the true purpose of this mission in deep space once Rook is finished cracking open the rock, and it's to capture a creature known as a xenomorph, the same deadly beast that was responsible for taking down the Nostromo some 2 decades ago. Seeing this, Hyla loses her composure. She draws her gun, aiming at the dormant xenomorph lying on the slab below. Adrian quickly intervenes, urging her to stay calm. After all, Science Officer Rook knows what he's doing. Later, inside the station's research bay dubbed the Remus Lab, Rook and Matos analyze the dormant xenomorph. Matos finds it curious how a single life form was able to tear through nearly the entire crew of the Nostromo. Regardless, he thinks that having this sample will prove invaluable to Weyland-Yutani's weapons division, a remark that Rook takes exception to.
A typically short-sighted human observation. You see this creature as another opportunity to consolidate power through destruction. If you humans really want to exterminate yourselves, give the job to a few of us synths. We'll gladly comply.
Matos brushes off Rook's comment as they prepare to perform the necessary experiments on the creature. Rook explains how, based on what they've gathered so far, the xenomorph is capable of evolving from an infant to a fully grown adult at alarming speed. In addition to that, Rook knows that the xenomorph is one hardy beast with the ability to regenerate tissue and survive almost any environment it finds itself in. It's just what Weyland-Yutani is looking for.
Eternal life. Prometheus fire.
Rook drills through the xenomorph's body and discovers that its blood is literally made up of concentrated acid. Suddenly, Matos is shaken when the creature's arm swings right in front of him, but Rook reassures him and all the other researchers inside Remus that it's just a muscle spasm.
This is an autopsy. Even if we detected life, the control rig holding it keeps the internal temperature sub-zero. We are in a controlled environment. We are in control.
Unknown to them, security officers Hyla and Adrian are making plans of their own about what to do with the lethal creature inside the lab.
Okay, say it's alive. Then what's it doing frozen in there?
Biding its time. Playing dead is a common survival mechanism. I learned that the hard way in the Colonial Marines.
Hyla tells her companion about how she lost one of her eyes when she let her guard down in the past, during a mission on a moon named LV-147. It turns out that she got discharged from the Marines after the incident. After which, Weyland-Yutani took her in and hired her to be a guard inside the Renaissance Station.
The point is, I may be missing an eye, but I can see what these button pushers don't. That rock is a threat to Renaissance and everyone on board.
Okay, I got your back. What do you suggest we do?
We wait until the scientists are preoccupied, and send that rock back into space where it belongs.
Days pass, and we find out that Rook's research into the xenomorph's physiology has yielded favorable results. For one, he's able to determine that the creature is a composite of a human and an endoparasitoid extraterrestrial. Not only that, but we find out that Rook has been able to use the extracted DNA from their specimen to create clones of its ovomorph form and replicate them into their second parasitoid life stage, more commonly known as facehuggers. Using the cloned facehuggers, Rook aims to extract more DNA from them in hopes of discovering the key to immortality. However, Rook's hopes are dashed when Matos orders him to cease operations and hand over the parasitoids to the company's weapons division. The synth protests, but Matos pulls rank on him. Still, the head of the Renaissance compromises with the science officer. Instead of taking all the facehuggers with him, They split them in half and leave the rest to Rook.
We'll leave our dedicated science officer with a skeleton crew in Remus. Everyone else, you're reassigned to the Romulus lab.
Just as Hyla and Adrian had hoped, this whole episode between Rook and Matos has distracted them enough to leave the Remus lab alone. So they proceed with their plans to sabotage the Renaissance's prime directive. Hyla orders Adrian to remove the xenomorph stone encasement from the rig so that they can fling it into deep space. Meanwhile, she rushes into the back room of the lab only to discover something that shakes her to her core.
Good God, they're synthesizing alien parasites.
The revelation prompts Hyla to wreck the chambers housing the cloned aliens. But their plans are thwarted when she hears Adrian screaming from the other room. When she gets there, the only thing she finds is her companion's lifeless body. His face melted to reveal the flesh underneath. And to make matters worse, the xenomorph has disappeared from its stony prison. Hyla catches a glimpse of it and shoots the creature with her rifle. The noise alerts Rook, who is absolutely outraged when he sees what the security officers have done.
Whatever was in that rock, it went in there.
Imbecilic human!
I was trying to kill it before it woke up.
It only reanimated because you removed it from the rig.
The science officer rushes to his bay to see if Hyla's interference has caused a disturbance in his research. Fortunately enough, the data shows that the experiment is still in progress. However, Rook knows that with the xenomorph now unleashed, it's only a matter of time before his plans are hindered for good. So, he orders everyone inside the Romulus lab to proceed with the trials of Compound Z01, the same concoction he derived from the xenomorph's DNA.
What's wrong with you? Kopeki's dead, and we've got a freaking bug out there, man!
Then we best finish what you've started. The xenomorph poses a threat to the entire station. We need to kill it before it interrupts my research. Rook surmises that the creature is headed for the facehuggers in order to protect its young.
Meanwhile, inside the Romulus lab, Matos wonders about the possible benefits of having xenomorphs under the company's control.
Imagine them cleaning up populations in the failing colonies.
I'm not so sure. Leaving settlers to die would be a PR nightmare.
Yes, but these creatures provide a cheaper alternative to extraction. They're plausible, deniable. If just one xenomorph gestates and wipes the place out, that's simply the danger of colonization.
But Matos' shady aspirations turn to ashes when the xenomorph they once had under their thumb jumps out of the darkness and proceeds to take out everyone inside the lab. Matos makes a run for it, leaving all his colleagues behind, as the xenomorph frees the facehuggers, who then latch onto any human host they can find. Somewhere else, Rook and Hyla continue their search for the creature when they come across a panicked Matos along the station's hallways.
The xenomorph. It's in Romulus. It freed the parasitoids. They grabbed everyone. They're all dead.
Just tell me where to shoot.
Fighting it is insane. We need to run.
In the blink of an eye, Matos loses his life when the xenomorph grabs and skewers him with its lethal tongue. Hyla fights back and shoots, but the creature slinks away into the darkness again, leaving only Matos' body hanging from the ceiling. They come up with a plan to eject it into space by quickly decompressing the Renaissance and sealing it. However, Rook notes that they have to do it somewhere he can access the station's emergency systems. The two eventually reach the xenomorph, but the creature manages to bisect Rook before they could spring their plan. It then grabs Hyla by the neck, and she fights back by stabbing and shooting it. The acidic blood of the xenomorph melts a large hole in the Renaissance, and the decompression it causes sucks up the creature towards the vastness of space.
Rook, seal the station, hurry!
Hyla struggles to hang on for dear life while she waits for Rook to fix the gaping hole in the space station. But instead of doing just that, the synth chooses to check in on his experiment, which we find out has just been completed. Rook is mesmerized with the results, so much so that he forgets about resealing the Renaissance, leaving Hyla and numerous researchers to be ejected into the cold vastness of space. Rook finally decides to fix the hole that the xenomorph caused, and he almost gets sucked out of the space station too. But through sheer force of will and the desire for immortality, the synth manages to crawl his way back into the Renaissance right before the hole is sealed. In the final scene, we see a screen inside the Romulus displaying a mouse, Compound Z01's first successful test subject, and a canister filled with the same dreadful formula, prepared to be used in the pursuit of immortality. That's all for now. We hope you liked this video and would love to know your thoughts about it in the comments section below. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more. And feel free to watch the next one while you're at it. We'll see you again soon.